high quality, sensible sizing, really great interior, and a boat that you keep for a long time. This is the Marex 390. My name's Dan Jones. Welcome to Dan's Boat Life, and also welcome to the south of France. It's a lovely place. This is a boat that you can fit it with twin diesel shaft drives or stern drive. A few different engine options. We'll talk about that in the next video during the test drive if you wish to come for a spin. She has two cabins, really lovely two cabins, a toilet and a separate shower. And as you may have noticed, coming up the starboard side, we have an opening helm door. This is a sort of boat that's probably going to appeal to people that have done a lot of boating and want something really nice and potentially they want to keep for a long time. So I'm visualizing, please jump in the comments and tell me if I'm on point or not. I'm visualizing some of you actually stepping down from larger power or sailboats. And as a matter of fact, I was in Finland the other day in the archipelago, beautiful place, and the lovely family that allowed us to film at their private dock had already ordered one of these, and they're stepping down from a Princess V series, much larger one. So that was interesting. So starting up on the bow, you don't have to have teak, but for those of us in Europe, I know you love it and it's beautiful. We can do, because it's a Scandinavian design, boom, this is the bow ladder that folds out. Yes, we have the anchoring system, a stainless steel chain. And for those of you who have seen my 440 video, you'll understand how they anchor bow to in Norway and the Scandinavian countries. So that makes a lot of sense. You can option it with a stern anchor. Really, really good stainless steel everywhere you go. A good little height on the gunnel there, rope protectors, down lights, sensible amount of space. This bow lounge, it's got a bit of headrest here, but it will also remove really easy with these little studs here. They're not press studs, that's the high quality jobbies. And this thing is closed cell foam, so you can chuck it in the water and use it like a floaty toy. Really, really nice. Timber highlights, that's quite nice. Obviously drink holders as well. Two windscreen wipers, beautiful lines. You're gonna appreciate some of the drone footage we got for you today. It's a handsome boat. So for those of you who are, let's face it, like real boaters or your traditional lifelong boaters, you're going to appreciate this thing. And particularly, I can see some of you Aussies and Americans loving the fact that you can get it in shaft drive. Midships cleat, more lights. We have access on both port and starboard. We don't have an opening door on port. If you want that, you've got to go up to the 440. And then the roof has got ample space for solar, as you can see. But when you get inside, you'll actually notice that this is an opening sunroof. You can open and close it in multiple positions. So if you just want the airflow, can do. And if you want the full sun, can also do as well. These VHFs and the main radar mast all fold down. Woo, watch where you're going, Dan. They all fold down. So for bridge deck clearance, for those of you who want to do the Great Loop, not a problem. And on the port side, this should be a little bit of storage just in here, and waste out is behind me. Diesel in is on the starboard side, and then you've got grab handles here, and then you've actually just got that one step that I fell down obviously, and a few more aft in a second. But got to focus on the weather protection for these boats, because this is one of the main highlights for all Marexes. So this is a very, very clever designed garage that allows you to pull these curtains around, and this generation 2 version, which I've already tested in some of my other videos, you just secure it with a bolt rope down here. So the whole thing comes around and turns this space into an indoor outdoor space. We're going to get to that in a second because there's so much I need to talk about on the transom first. So you guys go over here and I'll just let you appreciate the nice background, because this is a theme on Marexes, okay? So if you do a lot of boating and you want to lounge around, you kind of need a nice comfortable place to do it. And everywhere you look on these boats, it's just natural flow for a relaxation point of view. So this is cool and fun, and you can stow it. It's got its own storage place, but obviously the transom itself, whilst they are stairs with grab holds everywhere, they're also storage. So underneath, deep storage, even deeper storage, also fender lockers, and on each corner we've got rope locker on this side. We can put all of the boat's fenders, cleaning gear, hoses, etc. can all go in here, and we have even more space on this side. Look, we've actually got 4 fenders just in that one, just there, and then we can see we've got a collapsible bucket. Another super neat design is how we have this cutout. You're going to see this on a lot of the Marexes. So you can actually leave a line on the cleat, and then you can just, instead of taking it off, you can just tuck in the excess line into this storage area just here, and then when you need to secure the boat, you can pull it out when you need it. We've even got a retractable shore power cable. That's the sort of thing you would see on bigger boats, bigger, more expensive boats. Kind of cool to see that making its way down into the family size ranges. Freshwater shower and operation just here, stainless steel. That's nice to see. Decent sized swim platform and lots of space to play around with here, but we do have good storage under here. That actually is available underneath the table and again on the center line, but this one has a double function. This will also hold tender chocks, so you can actually option this. This one doesn't have it, with tender chocks to put a small tender on the transom. And as you can see, this storage area is huge. It's also drained, so it's going to be great for water toys and wet items. I'm thinking fins and all that sort of stuff will go well in there. This swim ladder will actually, so when this opens, that actually serves as a grab hold, but you don't need it because when you deploy it, you've got these 2 big grab holds. It's a 4-step swim ladder with some like a flexi-teak sort of rubberized finish on the steps. Very, very luxurious and easier for older people to pull themselves up and out of the water. So that's all very cool. And I just, look, this vibe, we were literally doing this today. It's all about this sort of boat. You've got corners here, you've got corners there, everything's comfortable, and this timber wrapping all the way around the aft cockpit is a natural place to hold on and secure yourself. Okay, let's focus on this area because this is one of the unique things about all Marex models. The indoor-outdoor spaces make a lot of sense no matter what the weather is doing, which when you go to Norway, it all settles in your mind because the weather does whatever it wants to do in Norway. It's not a stable climate, and so you do want to have the ability to open everything up when the sun comes and then close it down when you are not able to enjoy the sun. So you can absolutely do that with this roof. It's just a manual operation, really simple, one-hand operation, and I can do that, although the next roof, the forward one, I actually need to get up on the seat because I'm just a little bit too short to operate or finish that one off. So that's just something to bear in mind. This amount of seating will do 2 families. And remember how I was talking about how cool the corners were on the transom? Look at what we've got available to us here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. And this one, yes, this door is in the open position, but see how we've got a cushion here, so I can still, boom, boom, best seat in the house possibly, because you can have wind protection. If it's shoulder season, this is going to be a great place, even underway, as opposed to those seats which might catch a little bit of wind doing that when you are driving fast. So just bear that in mind. But if I just close this, I noticed this during the test drive. That's the next video if you're interested. This window is super handy if you're reversing the boat up to the dock. You've got clear viz through that window, and that allows you to see what you're doing without having to utilize the reversing camera or communicating with someone else. So for a solo operation, that makes life a hell of a lot easier. And then just pay attention to all of these backrests. They're just at the right angle. Drink holder here, 4 drink holders here, another one in that corner, same as those corners. It's all about relaxing. It's fantastic. But when you do close these curtains up, the design of the exterior molding, it actually presses up against the clears and it creates a sealed space. So you can air condition or heat this part of the boat and it will actually work because you're not having clears flapping around, letting air go in and out. So that's just another clever addition. Okay, so we've got the subwoofer here, bucket loads of storage. Deep, you can see we've got the boat show brochures in this one. That storage carries all the way around here, all on gas struts. And notice how they went up and down easy and I didn't have to remove any of the backrests just there. So same thing all the way around, quite deep. If you wanted to option it with a Barbie, we're going to have a look at the galley in a second. Depending on what part of the world you're in, you might want an extra Barbie station. You can actually do it here. It's also possible to do one externally, so you just do away with a bit of this seat area here, and it's also possible to do it in here. So just kind of you do you, think about your mission for the boat and where what cooking station works best for yourself, but there, and there are the options that you have on this boat. And underneath my feet just here is access into the engine bay. It is absolutely huge. There's so much space. You can fit it with a quick or a Seakeeper gyro. We've got the gen set down there, lots and lots of space. You could even store extra items down there should you need. We're going to cover that at the end of the video. Obviously this table drops down, but if you open both of the leafs, you've actually got this much space to do some outside dining, and then we can definitely do the inside dining. But if we just have a look, it's still possible. I think you could argue it's still possible for someone to eat a meal on this side. Look what I just discovered, guys. Didn't realize that before. So, boom, boom, problem solved. Much easier from these seats just here. So that all works, which is cool. I love this timber, and we're actually carrying from essentially teak to weathered timber on the inside. So if you know those cottages that you see where they kind of burn the timber to give it that weathered look, that's what's going on the inside. Before we get there, we need to talk about this glass. This is electrically operated, and you just use this button right here. It's a little bit slow, but it works, and it just goes up and down in the slot, works fine. Been using it today already. And then we just have this sliding door here to seal up the back of the boat. So if you've got maybe pets, you don't even need to worry about that, to be fair, because you would have that door closed there for pets and even small children. So I would say you really just want to control the temperature to make sure you're comfortable, which, as I mentioned, is possible. You can even see, I'm pretty sure that's a heat outlet. And oh no, here we go. We've got another one just here. This could be AC, and that could be heat for this part of the boat. So it's totally doable. Now, come inside. The finishes on a Marex are at a level up compared to any of the mass market production builds, and we would compare a Marex with one of the more higher quality builds that you see on my channel. I'll touch on that at the end of this. But what you're gonna feel is nice high quality upholstery, good finishes, well done timbers, and that's carried right throughout the boat. But if we're not on anchor today because some French people came out and yelled at us in French, didn't understand them. So I've asked Espen to keep the boat in this nice location so you can appreciate the background. So thanks for that, Espen. And I just love not speaking the local language, because someone yells at me, I just smile and pretend I actually don't know what they're talking about. But I don't think we're in trouble. Anyway, so underneath these seats, we actually have fridge 1, and then we have fridge 2 and fridge 3 here. So it's really, really good in terms of our refrigeration capacity. Underneath that side, we don't have anything because we have head height on the full beam cabin downstairs. That's why you don't have any storage under there. 4 drawers, boom, boom, all of them on a soft close. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 burner electric cooker just here, and that's the extraction fan above it. Then you can see our master vault control, but we actually have some storage in here. Also, it's worth noting, everywhere you look on the boat, there's access hatches and access panels into the bilge, right throughout the boat. Nothing is hidden and locked away. So from a long-term perspective, that makes boat life a little bit easier. I like having this split corian because you can just put it there and boom, boom, deep sink, so you can throw the dirty washing in the sink if you just want to go driving and not worry about it, or just have that half open there and have stand-up bottles, maybe even use it as an esky if you're having a party. So that kind of works. Does that pull out? Yes, it does. These things are a little bit handy. That's cool. So I mentioned the 4 more drawers here, but I didn't touch on this one. I'm seeing this on a few of the Marex models. Super simple and workable solution for this person. I would argue sitting on this side at this table is actually a little bit easier than where I just sat on the starboard side outside. So if you were having a meal, that feels a little bit more natural, to be fair. And when you flick that in, you can reduce the size, and then this just, either way, can just flip like that or that. And the other solution, it also works for this person. Boom! So many places to lounge. So this is in U-shape lounge mode right now. We've obviously got this corner. I can do that. I can do that. It's so, you don't, I'm always thinking about where I add the throw cushions on boats that I'm testing and spending time on. I don't feel a great need to add a lot of cushions. Yes, it looks nice and cool, like that's important to you, I understand. From a comfort perspective, you don't need to load this boat up with throw cushions. It's not necessary. All the angles, they're kind of already considered. Everything's quite comfortable. You could totally sleep on this. This upholstery is great. Storage up here, a second one there. Soft touches everywhere we go. I've actually got some charging I saw underneath. That's handy. People sitting around, they're dotted right throughout the boat. Another drink holder behind me here, so you really can relax for long periods of time. Cooking is possible. So we've got the Millet oven here, decent drawer, and we have the world's most comfortable helm chair. That's really one of the best ones I've sat on this size boat. I do experience some really, really nice helm chairs on 60 footers and really big expensive boats, but it's not something that I've had the pleasure of experiencing on a 39 footer as we have on this, because I've got the ability to actually just press this button, adjust the chair. I'm just watching this mooring here as the wind comes and moves me around. I'll just get out of the way. There we go. And so if you were on autopilot, you could actually set this chair as you wish and recline it back. You can also adjust these and you can borderline go to sleep. Don't do that, watch where you're going. But it's just a very, very pleasant boat. You can flick these up. We've got all of our controls from our digital throttles just here. I've got the joystick on this particular boat because this one, the wind's just changed direction, so we'll just adjust our angle to the breeze. I mentioned you have shaft drive option. This has got the stern drive, so therefore that gives us the ability to side slip the boat like so, which I'm doing right now. And obviously we have a bow thruster. It's nice to have that on the port side because that leaves your throttle hand on the starboard side, kind of where it should be, rather than getting confused with the bow thruster forward of your throttle hand. I've got my Humphrey control just here. This is our digital switching here, spotlight, all of the boat systems just in essentially easy to understand buttons, and our quick anchor windlass just there, boom, boom. And then I've got a drink holder, stereo, twin screens, multifunctional, VHF just here. And you won't notice, tucked in, beautifully done, we can close the boat up. There's 2 curtain types. There's block out curtains, and there's also these lighter curtains, which are an option to completely basically block out the sun, but get some privacy at the marina as well if you went bow in, so that's good. I'm going to hand the helm back over to Espen. Before I do that, just quickly, easy access should be, well, underneath here, we have easy access into the helm. And it's, let me just push it a little bit harder, see if I can, there we go, boom. Nice, professionally done, good to see. Air conditioning under the step, boom. All really, really well done. So, before we go downstairs, this is more important than some of you may realize. If you're wanting to do a bit of cruising, and you've got some miles to eat up, say you have to go from here to Mallorca, like I did last year on a boat, we were doing legs of 5 hours or more, and it's great to kick back like this and enjoy the ride. If you're stuck down here and you can't see what's going on, it's just less social. So this is great, but having the option, look at this, what a good use of space. So this has now become another eating area, it's become a laptop space, it's or whatever you want space. We've even got charging tucked down here, more charging there. It's super functional, so I love that. Obviously the side door makes life easier no matter what style of boat it is, because you can now leave the helm and go forward and aft and operate the boat without having to interrupt any of your mates. So should we go to this cabin? No, let's go in the full beam. I think this is the most interesting. I've been using it today. Just have a go at this. This is a great little space to lay your things out and then put them away. And it's always handy to have a little bit of a private area, whether it's computers or whatever it might be for you, and organize your things. So if you're gonna be staying on a boat for a period of time, you might see some value in this, but we've still managed, because we don't have storage underneath those seats that I mentioned before in the saloon, to get this lovely little lounge. So I would argue that this might be the choice of master cabin, even though the forward is very, very nice, because if this was my boat, I would get an espresso machine. It's a bit wanky, to be fair, but I would have an espresso machine in here with my own little coffee station, and I can just sit in here in the morning, have a coffee. I don't even have to go out and talk to anyone. My own private space. This whole window's huge. I've got cross-flow ventilation if I want it. I've got the air conditioning as well. I think that's nice. But look at the bed. It's ginormous. I'll get on it, even though it's nicely made. Like, it's huge. You can sleep this way, and clearly it's been designed to sleep this way, but we also have the possibility to kind of sit up in bed because there's more space going up here. So we've got blinds that go down everywhere. There is blinds for the whole boat. There's even blinds up in the saloon. They're not in place because it's a brand new boat. But I got storage behind me here. These lights have all got USB-C, so you can charge your phones, air conditioning, natural ventilation, and soft furnishings on the top and rounded corners just here. So if you had a little whoopsie, you're not going to hit your head on a sharp edge and hurt yourself, which is sensible. Access into the bilge, you're going to see these access little ports everywhere. We can get underneath this lounge, so there is a little bit of storage. And under the floor here, it's actually super deep. So if you were needing some long-term storage, you might even find a solution there in the bilge. But look at this. Storage all the way along there. Deep storage, more boat show, but that actually goes down, okay, it goes down that far. So it's deep and goes down low. We have more up here. We've got more here. Look at this. It's a great space to really organize your things. This is why I think, and obviously we've got the full mirror. We've got a drawer down here as well. That's good. So you could do all of your shoes up and down there. You can turn this into a hanging space. Big, big, deep drawers just here. Let's just check that they don't interfere with the door. Okay, so if you want to open them all the way, you got to have the door closed. Not the end of the world, because you can still get in a little bit if you're just trying to get into something quickly. But from a maybe perhaps a long-term liveaboard perspective, that might work for a lot of people. Charging points, more charging points, 12 volt, 110, 240 as well. Fantastic. So then you come out onto the timber companionway, or that's the weathered timber that I was talking about before. And then you coming into the head, we've actually got this not real teak, okay? So that's the fake stuff, but it looks good, but it's a wet area quite clearly. So this is the head, boom, boom, heaps of room from a sitting perspective and standing. We still have some natural air, but I saw, there it is, that's the AC vent. So we can still keep this area fresh if we're in Thailand or Northern Australia. And then the separate shower is great. I like the black finish, kind of gives it a nice touch. We don't have the rain head shower, which a lot of people are doing these days, but I guess it's still only 39 footer, so fair enough. And that's adjustable. I'm 5'7", I've still got a foot above my head. And this shower screen, I've actually not seen one like this before. Works really good. That's good, I like that. Storage in these two, behind the mirrors, in here, more in here, so you're not struggling whatsoever. We can get into the bilge, everything's accessible, sensible. Now, jump into the comments. Would you do this as the master, or would you do the other one? Because we still have on both sides, we've got a stairway getting up into your massive bed, which is really nice. And okay, to be fair, sitting up in this bed is much nicer than the other cabin, and your perspective looking back through these windows is incredibly pleasant. However, you still have that big window at your feet in the midships cabin. I'm not sure which one I would use. 1, 2, 3, these all just come up. I like how they're individually separated, because when I'm staying on a boat for a while, I'll do like board shorts, t-shirts and socks and whatever. And so if the boat's rolling around through some waves, all my stuff's not going to get mixed up, which is handy. Big full-size mirror here, but come in and have a look at this. We can do shoes in here, and then you can do your wet weather jackets, or, well, we're in France, so you're going to have a smart sports coat, or the girls. Man, people are so fancy here, and old people are still skinny. I think it's because they have lunch in the middle of the day, because so many older people are quite good looking here, and then maybe they're not having dinners. I don't know. I've just been observing their strict lunch protocol, because I keep coming at the wrong time, and then they get angry at me because the kitchen is closed. But I think there's a secret to this madness. So anyway, I'm getting distracted. Deep drawer. And this one, how did I operate this one again? That's right. They're the same size. Same size. Okay, so perfect for bedding, beach towels. This is more bilge access. The bow thruster is forward, so it's under the bed, but I couldn't lift this one, so that means lifting the mattress to get in there. And then on the starboard side, we have the same mirror. Just pass me the camera, I'll show you guys. We have this same mirror, and good hanging space. See what I mean about these access hatches everywhere? And air conditioning is on the floor in this cabin. I've got saw the speakers, mirror, charging points on both sides for your phones, so you're not struggling whatsoever. Light switches are all pretty logical. Another aircon outlet here, so that's good. One high and one low, so you can get some circulation. Let's go and have a look at the engine space, because this is great. So just remember, if you get the V-drive shaft, the engines are going to be further forward, because the V-drive actually takes up some space, but you still got a bucket load of available space on this boat. Pass me the camera. Look at this. Look at this checker plate. So obviously that's the generator on the port side. That's the, actually that's the hose retractor, which we've tangled. We'll have to fix that. You can send that all the way to the front of the boat to wash the foredeck down. You can wash the whole boat down with it. Because we have the stern drives, we're running the 320s, D4s. The engines are at the back of the boat. And then you can see we've got the hot water cylinder there. We've got space potentially for a water maker, I'd say, because you probably, if you did the gyro, you'd probably have that on the center line. But I mean, we have so much space. We've got so much. I'm just going to get in the corner and give you a better perspective. There, look at that. Whoa, I love it. So, and obviously a V-drive shaft, I would assume that unit's going to be a little bit further forward, so you will lose a little bit of this space. Look at the insulation. It's great. It really is. It's on par with Riviera boats that, you know, I love and consider to be one of the best builders. But the way they've laid everything out, it's all easy to understand. It's really, really good. Woo! It's actually not too hot down there. Also pay attention to this drain. Decent size. So that's going to take a lot of water. And, you know, you've got to have quite a bit of water moving before it makes its way over that lip and into the engine bay. So, let's wrap this video somewhere nice. How cool's France? Okay. Who is going to see the most value out of a 390? I've been thinking about it this morning, and I want to hear from you guys as to your opinion. But I think someone who has had a bigger boat before, obviously now know that there is a Princess V-Series owner, almost 60 feet, who's already bought one of these. And I suspect it's for a particular reason. I suspect that those of you who have really dialed in your boat life and you're looking for something easy to manage, very high quality, a bit no nonsense on the maintenance, and perfectly fine to keep and hold on to for, say, a 10-year lifespan, if you wanted to, then you're going to see some sense in this boat. I wouldn't go applying that same mission spec to some of the French mass market builders, to be fair. You know, those are boats I would be keeping for a shorter space of time, just because they're not built in the same manner. So I think some of you with that sort of lifestyle in mind are going to see value out of this boat. And I definitely think those of you who want a boat that will cater to the maximum amount of people in the most amount of luxury with the least amount of fuss for the skipper. So if you want to solo the boat yourself, genuinely, without having to worry about your partner, if you've seen my 440 Marex video, depending on your skill set, you might still need a partner to help you run that boat. This thing, it's a piece of cake. Twin engines, thrusters, joystick if you want. It's really not that difficult to manage this boat. I would say this is a true solo operator for someone who knows how to drive. So hopefully that made sense. If you want to see how she performs, we're going to do that in the very next video coming up on the screen somewhere very soon. And I'm also going to touch on some other options or some potential competition, and then obviously how this boat performs in that next video. I love this place. There's so many cool boats here. Anyway, I'm having too much fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to talk to me, I'm on Connect. Link is down below in the description. I read all your comments. I can't respond to them all, but I'll do my best. Love you lots. See you in the next video. Thanks, guys.